Okay, cool. So now we're back. So, Wool and Honey by Andrew Mowry. Knitting it 2 patterns. So far, I haven't made any adjustments. If you haven't seen this sweater, go check it out. I'm sure you have. It's a few years old. And it has like the honeycomb. It's a circular top-down yoke. And it has all the honeycomb. And it's really cute. And this is it so far. Ah. Oh, it looks so pretty on camera. And so what I did was I cast on with the one without any brown. I think not realizing that was the one, but whatever. At the top, and I worked through, it was like a half ball. So I worked through maybe this much, the first like yoke section. There's like, it's separated into a few different sections. So the first one, and then I decided once I ran out of that, I joined one of these balls and decided to do helical knitting. And so I just have been working with both of these, which is not so bad. I wasn't sure how it would be with the already. Obviously, there are a lot of slip stitches, and helical knitting, you're slipping. So I didn't know if it would mess it up, but it hasn't been a problem so far. I think one time I was like, oh, these are 2 slip stitches. Do I count those as the 3? And I don't remember what I did. But it will be fine. It will not be a big deal because it will either mean I slip 4 stitches or I slip 2 stitches, and that's fine. But this is it so far. I'm hoping to get through the second section of the yoke today, maybe, and then split for the body. I'm super excited and also hoping I have enough yarn because I think the pattern says like 13 something, which means if I had 460 yard cakes, like my fingering weight or her Teton sock, I would have been fine. This is the cashmere, so I only have 435 a ball. But I know that typically people overestimate yardage just so people don't run out. And I usually have way more yarn left than they suggest. Like sometimes I'll be cutting into the 4th ball, supposedly, based on the pattern, and I don't even get anywhere close to that. So crossing my fingers, hoping it works out. If not, I'll just make shorter sleeves or something. Usually I'll do sleeves first to make sure I have enough for the body. So I also actually could do that because I do like long sleeves. So maybe I'll do long sleeves. Once I split for the sleeves, I'll do long sleeves using some of these yarns. Helical knitting, at least in the beginning for the fade. Do long sleeves and then just make the body as long as I can, and it'll be cropped anyway. So it is what it is. Hopefully it won't, but we'll see. So that's that. Size 4 Chiagu, like I said, and I have a Bunny and Toot stitch marker on there. I think I've shown this before. Let me see. Can you see that? You can barely see it. Oh, you can. If you want to see a close-up, go to my Instagram because I'm going to post some pictures of it. But it is a headwig yarn colorway, headwig. So I decided to use my Bunny and Toot sorting hat charm. Progress keeper to go with it. Cool. That's it. Is someone here? Hello?
No.
What was that noise?
Your sister, I guess.
Oh, it sounded like the door opened.
No.
Interesting. Okay, so that's that. I'm super excited for it. What do you think, Nan?
I'm excited that you're excited. Anything that makes you happy.
It's so cute. I'm really excited to see how
it's more than cute. It's exquisite.
It's really cool, right? It's just so interesting, and even though it's obviously not just basic garter. I mean, the background is garter, but then there's a lot of slip stitches and moving things around. It's pretty mindless or pretty easy to read. Like, I can look at, say, okay, what part am I at? Okay, I kind of know what I need to do for the next few rows. Or, oh, I'm on one of the rows where I have to move the slip stitches around. It's pretty easy to say, okay, this one has to go this way, this one has to go that way. So I'm super excited about that. And it's in my bag, like I said, with a Tuft Woolens, obviously wool wash, pink peppermint, which is one of my favorites. It's what I use to block.
Is that why there's a yellow spot on here?
No.
From the soap?
No, that's the yarn. There's like little yellow speckles.
Oh, I didn't see it elsewhere.
I know, look, there's only a few. It's really scarce.
All right.
That one I think is just because it's on the slip stitch. You see it a lot. So that is my last WIT. Now, what are you working on?
Just a white, sleeveless sweater. Nothing special.
It's cute. Where do you find the pattern?
On the computer.
On Etsy?
Yep.
Do you know who made it?
No, I don't remember.
It's okay if you don't know where it is.
The instructions somewhere, but I don't know where they are.
It's on Etsy, and it's a simple
garter stitch.
Simple garter stitch top. It's like you said, it's sleeveless, but there are a little bit of sleeves just from the body. It's bottom up, knit flat, and I guess you seam it.
Just says a simple top and garter stitch. That's it.
Oh, is there a picture on there though? Oh, there's no picture. So she went to the store and got some needles because she didn't bring her knitting down with her. Oh, it looks good now.
I hate knitting with small needles.
They're a size 3, and this is a Susan Bates circular, which has this like little bend. I know some needles are doing that now. Interesting. I've never used them before. I stole this project just to see what the needles are like. It feels a little strange when you're pushing them over, but what do you think about the bend, Nan? Do you notice it?
Not really.
Does it help, you think, hold the needle or anything? People,
I really haven't paid attention, so I guess they're comfortable. Yeah, they're probably more comfortable.
Yeah, I was going to say, otherwise you would probably notice, right? And so there's some 1x1 ribbing at the bottom, and then she moves up to a size 10.5?
No.
I thought 10.5.
What size? 6.5 millimeter.
Yeah, I thought that was a 10.5, no?
I
think it's a US 10.5, 6.5 millimeter. So it's going to be a nice loose gauge garter stitch all the way up. And what yarn are you using, Nan?
Just cheap.
It's a worsted weight.
Cheap yarn. Not Brianna's yarn.
Pound of Love. I told her I was going to dye her some yarn, but she said no. Pound of Love, worsted weight, Lion brand. This is some sort of white. I don't know if there's a better name than that. Oh, nope, it is just white. And she went to Michael's yesterday and bought this. This should be enough, I think. It was 250 grams, I think she needed. Yeah. Oh, this will be enough. Almost for 2 sweaters. I don't know where she went. Nan, where'd you go?
I'll be right back.
Okay. So that's what Nanny's working on. That's all that I have that I'm working on. I have some wish knits and things that I'm either casting on or that are coming up in the shop that I've touched on a little, but I'll highlight here. So obviously Lorelei is in the shop for pre-order. A separate listing, but that goes along with that, is my fall scented candles. I think it's Fall in Stars Hollow. And there's an option for a 4-ounce candle, 8-ounce candle, or a sampler for 3 in either size. So there's going to be a coffee scent, an apple cider donut scent, and a pecan pie scent, which are all very reminiscent of fall and Gilmore Girls. Obviously coffee, apple cider donuts reminds me of the Hay Maze. Even though I don't think that was in the fall, which doesn't make a lot of sense.
10.5 needle.
10.5, right? Yeah. And then pecan pie, which reminds me of 4 Thanksgivings. Also, it's fall, and Rhinebeck is not happening, and I think we're all thinking about that or missing that in some way. That big festival we went to last year, not happening. And so I thought the apple cider donuts would be a really great fit for anybody who's missing some of those. And if you buy the sampler, there's a bit of a discount. I think you get a few dollars off. And so that's in the shop now. Like I said, and that pattern will be ready to go by definitely before mid-October, but whenever everyone who ordered the pre-order gets their yarn, they're going to get the pattern first as like first dibs. And then I'll release it and put it in the shop to purchase separately. I'm going to put the pattern on Ravelry, and I'm going to have it in my Etsy. And if either of those options don't work for you, send me a DM on Instagram, send me an email at thelittlewolfknits@gmail.com, and I'll figure it out. We could always do PayPal or Venmo, and I could send you the PDF. I want to make sure that it's accessible for everyone to get, and I know I considered not putting it on Ravelry, to be honest, but I know a lot of people are still using it, and asked if it would be available, and I struggled with not wanting to support them right now, but feeling like for now it's one means of being accessible for a few reasons. One, people are using it, but two, I'm also doing a sliding scale, pay what you can, and so I'm having a few different coupon codes that are different prices for my patterns, which feels really important for financial accessibility that I can't do on Etsy just because of the way it's set up, and it was just easiest to do it on Ravelry. If you cannot access Ravelry and you want access to the sliding scale, pay what you can, 100% send me an email. We can PayPal, we can Venmo, and figure it out. Like, no, that will be very easy, and I will just... You tell me what you can pay, and we will set it up for that. Same is going to go with my flannel shirt socks, which is coming out in the next week. So they'll be on Ravelry and Etsy and accessible just directly for me if those options don't work for you. I think I set them up for a $5, $6, $7 option. I know a lot of socks range between $5.50 and some go up to $6.50 or $7. And so I feel like those were good price points, in case people can afford the $7 and want to do that. I imagine most people will go for $5 or $6, and so it'll hopefully balance out a little bit. That being said, because I'm doing the pay what you can, I don't think I can also do like an initial sale for like the first week that they're out. So I might just do like a pattern giveaway or something like that on my Instagram for a chance for a few folks to win a free pattern. Yeah, so that's what's coming out. The Luke colorways, so I am all in, which is the blue variegated, and Luke Steiner will also be listed in the shop this week. Halloween colors are in the shop. So Witch's Brew is back in the shop. Oogie Boogie is in the shop. It never left. Calaveras is in the shop. It never left, but it's a Halloween. Dia de los Muertos Day colorway. Sugar Skull colorway. And I'm having 2 new Halloween colors that I've been sitting on and just haven't done. One is inspired by Hocus Pocus, and one is The Nightmare Before Christmas, because that also has my heart. And along with those will be in the shop hopefully this next week. I have a Hocus Pocus mini skein set that's already up in the shop, because it was dyed and created to go along with Michael Sean's Sanderson Sister sweater. And so there's an option for DK weight minis for Winnie, for Sarah, for Mary, for all 3, or a full set if you wanted to use them for other sort of projects or other charts in that sweater. And so those are up for their testers, and I'm assuming it's just going to stay up in the shop for folks who want to use them for something else, their own Sanderson Sister inspired types of things, or want to order a little bit early for the pattern when it's released. That's in the shop. My coffee house club, sock club Candles are still in the shop. The second round will ship out in October. So those are, again, similar to my fall scented candles, but they're 3 different scents. So I have, they go along with, I should say this, Coffee House Sock Club from Julianne Knitters, Twin Stitches Designs. There was Hand Balm from Tuft Woolens. There was yarn from Lizzie and Yarn. There were bags from Kitchen Sink Shop and candles from my shop. And so the 3 months are Chai Spice, Pumpkin Latte, and Gingerbread Latte or something like that. And so the 3 that I have are Coffee Cake for the first month, Pumpkin Pie for the second month, and a Gingerbread for the 3rd month. And so they're 3 completely different scents from the fall candles, and so you could get both of them and not have any overlap. So those are also in the shop. What else is in the shop, Nan?
I have no idea.
I think that's it for now, as far as what's coming up in the shop. Rory will come next month for the Gilmore Girls Club, and I'm super excited about that. It's going to have a lot of nods to Lorelai's colorway and sock pattern, and I think they're going to complement each other really nicely. And some people asked about the colorways and if they would look good not in a sock, and like 100%, and I would even put the 3 of them together if you like color. I think they can be really fun, like a shawl or any like Tammy Gore. You could even hold it with another like mohair or some other color to kind of tie the 3 of them together, and I think it would be adorable. So that's in the shop. As far as like what's coming next for me and what I want to do, and then also I guess will be in the shop, is I caked up some yarn for Michael that was actually a one of a kind that really reminds me of it. I think I've showed them on Instagram before. I have a few skeins. It's like yellow and red and blue and brown, and just reminds me of it. And so I called it You'll Float Too, and Michael obviously loves it. He loves Halloween. And so I'm going to be making him a hat, a Halloween hat, and I'm going to be designing a pattern, which is inspired by the flannel shirt socks pattern. So I'm basically going to take that and turn that into a DK weight hat pattern, my flannel shirt hat pattern. And I'm super excited about that. I also think I'm going to be turning Lorelai's sock pattern into a DK inspired hat for myself, and I think it would be really, really cute. I also had dreams of maybe a shawl, and like maybe that'll happen, but I just really like the play of the texture and think it would be adorable as a hat. So I'm gonna do that. But I already caked up You'll Float Too, and so that's gonna come first. So I'll be looking for just a few testers, a really quick turnaround. It's just a hat. The pattern is super simple. I just need to figure out the decreases, basically. And then I imagine Lorelai's will come not too long after. And I would love to have them all out by winter, before winter, so people could use them for gift knitting. I think it's perfect gift knitting. Even if you're not a Lorelai or Luke or Gilmore Girls fan, I think they'll just be really cute hats and quick and simple. Anything that's coming up next for you, Nan?
No, I have to just get through this sweater. I haven't knit in many years and I don't have the patience, but I'm trying.
That sounds like a good plan. Do you have a goal? So how many inches do you have to knit? You have to do some ribbing, and then how many inches of garter?
14, 22, 36 inches. 14 and a half and 22. 36 inches.
Oh. Okay. Okay, well, but that's garter. And that's about right. And that's a 10. Oh, no. This is until work measures this. So that's total. 22. Until it's a total of 22.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then
you do some shoulders. So you can definitely get to 22 inches. On a size 10.5 needle, it's going to be so quick.
Yeah.
So you could definitely do that
But
by the
this
next
is
time we
taking
talk.
forever.
Yeah, but you're almost done with the ribbing. Ribbing always takes long.
Hate it.
I know. And we're both English. We both knit English, and so we're both throwers. And so ribbing definitely takes a little bit longer than continental or other kinds of knitters. But that's what I have coming up next. This has only been 2 weeks since the last time we spoke, which is better than a month like last time. And so hopefully in the next week or two, I can get another podcast out. Things have just been a little bit crazy. Like I said, my mom has coronavirus. She tested positive, and so she's been home pretty sick for a little over a week. I obviously live in Pennsylvania, and normally we all see each other on the weekends down here. But getting the news she was sick last week, and Nanny and Sophia had seen her. I decided not to come down last weekend. Everyone got tested. Nanny and Sophia tested negative, which was awesome. But she obviously tested positive, so she's still home by herself. Nanny and Sophia ended up staying down here just to kind of stay away from the germs. So I came down to see them this weekend, but I imagine it sounds like their plans are to head back up north and maybe just stay at Nanny's house for a little while. So they can kind of drop off groceries or take care of my mom. It's her birthday next weekend, which is kind of sad, so I don't know that we'll be able to see her. Hopefully we can, but I don't.
Mine's right after.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And Nanny's is right after. So we'll see what that looks like this year. I'm actually going to knit her a sweater for her birthday. She wanted a poncho, then she found a sweater. It's a really loose, it reminds me of like a loopy mango, really chunky. Like I'll probably use woolies, like thick and quick, on a really loose gauge, and it's a big loose sweater and balloon sleeves, and I think it'll be quick, so I'll knit that up for her. Again, I was going to wait to get yarn that I have at home, but I'm not going home anytime soon, so I might just pick up some yarn and make that for her. And then maybe casting on a baby sweater for Baker, who's Michael's niece. Yeah, I'm starting to think about Christmas knitting. My sister wants a sweater and Michael wants a sweater, so starting to think about some of that.
Excuse me.
All right, so Instagram's gonna yell at us because we have this song playing. But that's Nanny's phone.
I'll call her back.
Okay, we'll just sign off and then you could call her back. Thanks for spending some time with us. Hopefully you were doing well. Hopefully you were taking care of yourselves and your people. We had some big losses this week, but trying not to lose hope, trying to use that as fuel to keep fighting the good fight. RBG was huge and irreplaceable, and we can just do what we can.
This yarn feels better than it is.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not bad yarn. It's not bad yarn.
No.
Acrylic yarn is fine. Acrylic yarn now is like really soft. I know there are some yarns that like I remember when I was young were like really not so nice.
Lion Brand.
But Lion Brand makes good yarn. But there's a lot of good acrylic yarns. Because there's so many people who can't wear wool, or just don't want to, or can't afford wool. And acrylic is nice.
But I went to Michael's, and then I went to
Joann's.
Joann's has a much better selection of everything.
Down here they do, for sure.
Needles. There was a whole wall, a whole section.
It's so funny because it really depends on your region. Yeah. Like at home, that's not the case. Michael's has way more yarn. Down here, Michael's just doesn't have a big selection. Yeah. I don't know why, but yeah. Alrighty, so we're gonna go. Hopefully it's a little bit sunnier. We could bring the windscreen up to the beach and go hang out for a little bit. Maybe do some roller skating with Sophia before I head back to Pennsylvania tonight because I have work tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us if you made it this long.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And we'll see you soon.